But before you can win out there, you must win in here. Within the invisible realm of imagination, everything begins unseen. Every victory, every success, every transformation starts as a quiet conviction, a knowing within the heart, before it is ever witnessed by the eyes. You have been asking for a sign, haven't you? And here it is. Not because something new is coming, but because what you have been desiring is already yours. The waiting is over. The moment you feel it real, it begins to form itself in your world. Look around you. What you call your reality is nothing more than a reflection of what you have assumed to be true about yourself. When you felt small, the world shrank. When you felt unworthy, the doors closed. But when you awaken to your power, the power to imagine and feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, the entire universe bows to that state. Winning is not a chase, it is a recognition. You don't need to earn what you already are. You only need to assume it, to wear the feeling like a royal garment, to walk in the quiet confidence that your victory is done, finished, sealed. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the joy of already being the one who has it all. Don't just think about it, feel it. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the ease. That feeling is the creative power. That feeling is the hand of God shaping your world. Do not be moved by appearances. What you see right now may look incomplete. But remember, the visible world is just old news. It is yesterday's assumption playing itself out. Change the assumption, and tomorrow must obey. So stand tall. Your victory is not coming, it is already written. The sign you asked for is within your awareness. The moment you decide, the universe aligns. The people, the opportunities, the ideas, they are already on their way, drawn irresistibly to the new state you occupy. You have entered a new timeline the instant you accepted this truth. You are the source. You are the cause. You are the one writing your story. So hear me now. This is your sign. Get ready to win everything, because everything has already been given. All that remains is for you to believe it, to feel it, and to walk in it as if it were already so. You are the cause, not the effect. Everything you experience in your outer world is a mirror, a perfect reflection of what you have accepted as true about yourself within. The world is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Every circumstance, every event, every encounter you face is a reflection of your inner conversations, your assumptions, your deep-seated beliefs that operate beneath the surface of your conscious thought. When you begin to see life this way, you reclaim the power that has always been yours, the power to create, to direct, to command reality itself. The truth is simple, yet profound. Your assumptions shape your world. What you believe yourself to be, you will inevitably express in the conditions of your life. You may think you are reacting to the outer world, but in reality, the outer world is reacting to you. The people you meet, the opportunities you attract, the obstacles you face, all are reflections of the state of consciousness you dwell in. Change the state, and the reflection must change. It cannot resist you, for it has no life of its own. The outer world is nothing but the echo of your inner voice. Think of your imagination as the seed and the outer world as the soil. Whatever seed you plant, whether it be fear, doubt, confidence, or abundance, will eventually take root and blossom into form. Most people tend to look at the soil and blame it for the harvest, forgetting that the seed was their own doing. But when you understand that your imagination precedes creation, you stop fighting the shadows and start mastering the light within. You cease trying to manipulate the world of effects and instead begin to cultivate the world of cause, your own mind. Every assumption you hold creates a vibration, a frequency, an invisible pattern that draws corresponding experiences into your life. If you assume that life is hard, that people are unkind, that opportunities are rare, you will see those beliefs confirmed over and over again. But if you dare to assume the opposite, that life favors you, that people love to help you, that success flows easily to you, then you shift the entire structure of your reality. The outer world rearranges itself to match the new image you hold of yourself. You are not a victim of circumstance, you are the architect of your experience. Nothing changes until you do. The moment you take your attention away from blaming conditions and turn it inward, asking, what am I assuming to be true right now? You step into creative authority. This realization frees you from the illusion of powerlessness. It reminds you that you do not need to wait for the world to improve before you can feel at peace. You can feel it now. And the world must follow that inner command. So the next time you look at your life and wish something were different, do not fight the reflection. Go within. Change the assumption. Feel the new reality until it feels natural. The mirror cannot resist your command. It must reflect what you are. When you understand this, you no longer chase change. You become the change. And as you do, your world will transform effortlessly into the likeness of your new belief. Feeling is the secret doorway. It is the bridge between the invisible world of imagination and the visible world of experience. Every thought, every vision, every dream that has ever manifested into physical form has passed through this doorway of feeling. You can imagine endlessly, think beautifully, and speak positively, but unless you feel your desire to be real, it remains only an idea. Feeling gives life to thought. Feeling clothes imagination in substance. It is through feeling that the invisible becomes visible. When you imagine something and feel it is real, you are not simply daydreaming, you are creating. The universe responds not to words, but to vibration, and vibration is determined by how you feel. If you feel lack, the world must mirror lack. If you feel fulfilled, the world must show you fulfillment. It is law. You can affirm wealth, health, love, or success 1,000 times, but if deep down you feel unworthy, anxious, or doubtful, that feeling will dominate and shape your reality. Feeling is the creative power itself, the silent energy that molds your life according to your emotional conviction. Everything in your life right now is the crystallized form of past feelings. The people you attract, the circumstances you encounter, even the rhythm of your days, all are echoes of what you have emotionally accepted as true. This is why intellectual knowledge alone cannot transform your life. You may understand spiritual principles perfectly, but until they become emotional truths within you, they remain dormant. Feeling is what awakens them. It is the language of creation, the movement of consciousness into form. So how do you use this secret doorway? By assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Close your eyes and enter the scene of your desire as if it were already real. Don't merely see it, feel it. Feel the relief of having it. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the satisfaction of already being in possession of what you once longed for. Let that emotion rise within you until it becomes your natural state. The more real it feels, the faster it must appear. This is not imagination pretending. This is imagination creating. You are impressing upon your subconscious mind the creative power that governs reality, the emotional blueprint of what must come to pass. Most people wait for the world to give them permission to feel good. They say, I'll feel abundant when I have money. I'll feel loved when I'm in a relationship. But that is backward. The world does not cause your feelings. Your feelings cause the world. You must feel rich before the wealth appears. Feel loved before the partner arrives. Feel successful before the success unfolds. When you hold the feeling long enough, the world cannot resist. It must rearrange itself to match your inner conviction. Feeling is not weak, it is the greatest strength. It is the creative pulse of the divine working through you. Every time you feel as though your desire is already real, you open that secret doorway and walk into the reality of your choosing. The unseen world responds instantly, and the visible world follows in perfect order. What you feel to be true in imagination will, without fail, harden into fact in your reality. The sign is your awareness. It does not come from the sky, nor from a coincidence outside of you. It rises quietly from within. A knowing, a shift in consciousness that whispers, this is it, my time has come. That inner certainty, that invisible nudge, is the universe's confirmation. It is not a prediction of what will be, it is the revelation of what already is. When you feel that quiet assurance, you are no longer waiting for your moment, you have stepped into it. Those people search endlessly for external signs, numbers on clocks, words on billboards, or messages in songs. They want proof that the universe has heard them. But the true sign does not appear outside, it awakens inside. When your awareness changes, the outer world has no choice but to follow. The sign is not the butterfly landing on your hand, it is the peace that settles in your heart before it does. The moment you feel complete, the outer confirmation becomes inevitable. This is how creation works. Everything begins as a movement within consciousness. When your awareness expands to include your desire, when you feel it as already yours, you shift into the reality where that desire is already fulfilled. That shift in awareness is the sign. It means you are now one with the state you longed for. You no longer chase it, you embody it. You no longer look for evidence, you become the evidence. You know this feeling. It's that sudden calm after struggle, the quiet conviction that nothing more needs to be done. You stop worrying, stop forcing, and something inside you says, it's handled. That is the voice of your higher self confirming alignment. It is not a future promise, it is the present realization that what you sought has already been accepted by your inner world. Once accepted, the outer world must mirror it, not by chance but by law. The universe is not separate from you. It is your expanded self expressing through infinite forms. When you feel that your time has come, it means consciousness has moved, your frequency has changed, you have entered the state of fulfillment. From that point, reality begins to reorganize itself to match your new vibration. The right people, opportunities, and experiences start appearing, not because they were missing before, but because you were not yet aware of them. Awareness opens the door to what has always been waiting. Do not doubt that feeling. It is sacred. It is your sign. When you sense that inner readiness, that quiet certainty, trust it completely. Don't look for additional proof, because none will come until you accept it as final. The sign is self-continued. It does not require validation. The more you honor it, the more life responds. The sign is your awareness. The shift from hoping to knowing, from waiting to being. When that happens, rejoice. You have already crossed the threshold. Everything that follows, the events, the manifestations, the celebrations, are simply echoes of that moment when you first felt, deep within, that your time had come. Live as if it's already done. The moment you can believe that the future you desire is not something to be created, but something already completed, everything changes. Life begins to move in harmony with your conviction. The truth is simple yet profound. Creation is finished. Every version of your life already exists within the infinite field of consciousness. You do not have to make your dream real. You only have to align with the version of yourself for whom it already is real. When you step into that state mentally, the world begins to rearrange itself to reflect your new position in consciousness. Most people live in a constant state of waiting for the right moment, the right sign, the right conditions to feel complete. But life doesn't respond to waiting, it responds to assumption. When you live as if your desire is already fulfilled, you step into a new frequency of being. You think differently, move differently, and speak differently. You stop asking for what you want and start expressing it through your confidence, gratitude, and calm expectation. You no longer look to the world for permission, you give yourself permission to live from the end. This is the secret behind every true transformation. You cannot attract what you are not willing to embody. When you feel yourself already living your dream, the universe mirrors that feeling back through people, circumstances, and opportunities. If you desire success, imagine the version of you who is already successful. How do they feel when they wake up in the morning? How do they carry themselves? How do they speak, decide, and think? Step into that version of yourself now. Not someday, but now. And reality will follow your lead. Living as if it's already done is not pretending, it's choosing. It's an inner act of faith that declares, "This is who I am now." You no longer operate from lack or desire, you operate from fulfillment and gratitude. When you walk as if your wish is realized, you dissolve the separation between desire and possession. You merge with your goal in consciousness, and what you unite with internally must appear externally. The world is only a mirror, and it faithfully reflects the image you hold within. This practice requires trust, not in luck or chance, but in the unseen laws that govern life. You cannot see the roots forming beneath the soil, but you know the seed will bloom. In the same way, once you live from the end, everything invisible begins to conspire for your visible success. The details take care of themselves. The people you need appear. The timing aligns perfectly. The impossible begins to seem ordinary. So, dare to live as if your dream is already complete. Stop asking, "When will it happen?" and start declaring, "It is happening now." Feel it real. Walk in that state until it feels natural. Soon you will look around and realize that nothing outside of you changed. First, you did. And because you did, the world had no choice but to obey. ChatGPT said, detach from appearances. The world you see right now is not a reflection of what is, it is a reflection of what was. Every condition, every circumstance, every so-called problem you face is the echo of a previous state of consciousness, a past assumption that has already been impressed upon reality. What you see is not the living truth, it is the residue of thoughts once held, feelings once believed, and identities once worn. When you understand this, you stop reacting to appearances, because you realize they are nothing more than the solidified past, shadows cast by the light of your former self. The mistake most people make is to wrestle with a shadow. They fight against what has already been created, trying to force change on the level of effect rather than cause. But you cannot alter a reflection by touching the mirror. You must change the face that stands before it. The outer world is a mirror, and fighting with appearances only strengthens them. The more you react to what you see, the more power you give it. But when you detach, when you withdraw your emotional attention from the outer picture and turn inward to change your assumption, the shadow must fade and reform in the likeness of your new inner light. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means understanding. It means seeing through appearances without being deceived by them. When you stop identifying with the temporary and start identifying with the eternal, your imagination, your awareness, you reclaim your creative power. You realize that conditions are not the cause of your feelings are the cause of your conditions. You no longer beg life to change, you command it through inner alignment. Imagine standing before a movie screen, arguing with the images. It would be futile, wouldn't it? The screen cannot change until you change the film. Your imagination is that film, and reality is the projection. The moment you rewrite the story in your mind, feel a new emotion, hold a new belief, accept a new identity, the outer picture must eventually shift, but there is always a delay, a divine gestation period between inner creation and outer manifestation. And acceptance becomes just like that, a delay. That is why appearances can be so deceiving. They show you yesterday while you are creating tomorrow. So when things seem difficult, when results appear opposite to what you desire, remind yourself, this is the past solidified. It has no power except the power you continue to give it through attention. Do not fight the shadow, change the light within. Turn your focus inward, feel the new reality as real, and rest in the knowing that it must come forth. The old image will fade as surely as night gives way to dawn. Detachment is mastery. It is the calm awareness that appearances are temporary and powerless before the creative force of imagination. Once you stop reacting to what you see and begin to live from what you know, the world bends to your new assumption. The shadow obeys the light, always. Change the light within and watch the outer world transform in perfect reflection. Winning is a state of being. It is not something you achieve someday after struggle, competition, or effort. It is a realization, a deep recognition that you were never meant to become a winner because you already are one. The feeling of victory is not found in the outer accomplishment, but in the inner awareness of your own completeness. When you truly understand this, you stop chasing success and begin expressing it. You stop searching for validation and start radiating confidence, born from knowing who you are. Most people believe winning happens only when they surpass others, gain wealth, or reach a certain goal. But true winning is not about outcomes. It is about alignment. You are in a winning state when your thoughts, feelings, and actions harmonize with the belief that life is unfolding perfectly for you. In that state, everything you need flows naturally, effortlessly. You stop struggling against circumstances and begin to move with the rhythm of life itself. Winning is not the reward of effort, it is the result of awareness. When you feel yourself to be a winner, the world mirrors that conviction back to you. Opportunities appear where doors were once closed. People treat you differently, not because they suddenly changed, but because your energy did. Life responds to your inner image. If you believe you are lacking, life will faithfully show you lack. But if you know you are abundant, life will show you abundance everywhere you turn. It is not magic, it is law. Recognizing yourself as a winner is not arrogance, it is truth. It is remembering that the same creative power that spins galaxies and causes the sun to rise also lives in you. That power cannot fail, cannot lose, cannot be defeated. You are its expression, and therefore victory is your natural state. Every time you imagine yourself succeeding, every time you feel the joy of accomplishment before the world confirms it, you are living from that divine state of winning. This state is not dependent on what others think or what circumstances look like. You may appear to lose in the eyes of the world, but if you remain steadfast in the awareness of your inner victory, the outer must eventually reflect it. The temporary appearance of defeat is only a test of faith, a question from life asking, will you still believe in who you are when appearances contradict it? True winners do. They remain calm, centered, and sure, knowing the outcome is already finished in their favor. You don't become a winner through striving, you awaken to it through remembrance. You realize that every quality you seek, strength, success, peace, power, already exists within. When you claim it inwardly, the outer world arranges itself to confirm that truth. Everything begins to align: circumstances, people, timing, and events. The world bends to your certainty. Winning, then, is not something you do, it is something you are. Live from that awareness. Feel the victory before it appears. Know that nothing is missing, nothing is delayed. You have already won, and life is simply catching up to your recognition of it. So now, my friend, you can see, this was never about becoming something new, but about remembering who you already are. The power, the victory, the abundance you've been seeking are not waiting in the distance. They are here within you right now. You are the cause, not the effect. The world bends to your assumption, your feeling, your awareness. The moment you decide that it is already done, the universe begins to rearrange itself in your favor. Detach from appearances, don't fight the shadow, change the light within. Live as though your dream is complete, feel it real, walk in it, and the outer world will echo your inner knowing. Because winning is not a race to be run, it's a state to be remembered. You are not trying to win, you are allowing yourself to realize that you've already won. This is your sign, the confirmation that your time has come. The victory you've been praying for is already sealed in consciousness. Walk in faith, act in confidence, and live in gratitude. Everything you desire is moving toward you because it already belongs to you. Thank you for listening, for awakening, for daring to believe in your own creative power. Now, go forward, not to chase success, but to embody it. Your time is not coming. Your time is now. Thank you. There is no greater truth than this. Your reality is shaped by your consciousness. You are not at the mercy of circumstances, nor are you a victim of fate. What appears before you is but the outpicturing of your inner world, the reflection of your assumptions, beliefs, and feelings. Close your eyes and ask yourself, who would I be if I already had all that I desire? What would I feel, think, and do if I were already living my ideal life? Sink into that feeling. Let it become real to you. For what you accept in your imagination as true will harden into fact. There is no power greater than your awareness of being. The moment you claim your desire as yours, not as something distant, not as something to be earned, but as something already accomplished, you set in motion the unseen forces that bring it to pass. Doubt and fear are illusions born from looking at the world as it is rather than as it can be. But when you stand firm in the conviction that your assumption is reality, the world must conform. You do not need to beg, chase, or struggle. Simply assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist in that state. Ignore the evidence of the senses when they contradict your vision. Know that the unseen is far more real than the seen. And when you wake each morning, let your first thought be gratitude. Gratitude for the life you are already living in consciousness, knowing it is only a matter of time before it appears in the physical world. The greatest truth you can ever embrace is that your imagination is the key to shaping your reality. Everything you experience in your external world is a direct reflection of what you have persistently imagined and felt to be true within yourself. There is no exception to this law. What you hold in mind with conviction, what you assume as real, will eventually manifest in your world. Most people believe that life is something that happens to them. They see themselves as passive participants, reacting to circumstances as they arise. They assume that change must come from effort, from action, from manipulating external conditions. But the truth is far simpler and far more profound. The world does not create your beliefs. Your beliefs create the world. The outer world is nothing more than a mirror, faithfully reflecting back the contents of your inner consciousness. Think of every great innovation, every work of art, every breakthrough in human history. Where did it begin? In the unseen realm of the imagination, a vision held within the mind of one who dared to believe in something beyond what their senses could confirm. They did not wait for proof. They did not ask whether it was possible. They assumed it to be so, and through this assumption the world bent to their belief. You are no different. Right now you possess the same creative power. If you desire a new reality, you must first claim it in your imagination. You must live in the certainty that it is already done. It is not enough to wish. It is not enough to hope. You must assume. To assume is to take something as true without needing external confirmation. It is to walk as though the wish is fulfilled, to think and feel from the state of your desired outcome. Your imagination is not idle. It is the very force that molds your reality. When you persistently imagine yourself as already possessing the life you desire, you begin to align yourself with it in ways unseen. Your actions shift, your energy changes, and the world rearranges itself to accommodate your new assumption. Perhaps you have noticed this in small ways. You think of someone and suddenly they call. You imagine a certain event and within days it unfolds exactly as you pictured it. These are not coincidences. They are glimpses into the power of your mind. The same principle that brings about these small manifestations is at work in every area of your life. The only difference is the level of conviction you hold. Doubt is the only enemy of creation. The moment you entertain thoughts of lack, failure, or impossibility, you halt the process of manifestation. This is why so many remain stuck, caught between their desires and their fears. They affirm what they want, but in the next breath, they contradict it with worry and disbelief. They plant the seed but dig it up before it has a chance to grow. You must discipline your imagination. You must refuse to dwell in any state that contradicts your wish fulfilled. If you seek abundance, see yourself as abundant now. If you desire love, assume you are already cherished. If you long for success, carry yourself as though it is already yours. Do not wait for the world to change before you believe. Believe, and the world must change. This may feel unnatural. The senses will protest, whispering that nothing has changed. But persist. The unseen is always more real than the seen. Your present circumstances are simply past assumptions solidified into form. If you desire something new, you must persist in a new assumption until it takes root in your reality. This is the law, and it is absolute. Your imagination creates your world. Hold steadfast to your vision, and it must externalize. Assume it is already done, and so it shall be. The secret to manifesting what you desire is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You are not to wish for it, not to hope that one day it will come, but to claim it in consciousness as though it is already yours. The moment you do this, the unseen forces of creation begin to move, and the world will shift to reflect your assumption. This is the great truth that so few understand. Reality is not something you chase after. It is something you embody now. Most people live in a state of waiting. They believe that if they work hard enough, if they prove themselves worthy, then someday they will achieve their goals. They place their desires outside of themselves, always just out of reach. But this way of thinking keeps their dreams forever distant. By placing their wish in the future, they unknowingly affirm its absence in the present. And as long as they continue to see their desire as something that will happen rather than something that is happening now, it remains a possibility rather than a fact. To truly manifest, you must live in the end. This means shifting your identity to match the reality you seek. Instead of longing for wealth, you must think and feel as a wealthy person does. Instead of yearning for love, you must embody the presence of one who is already loved and cherished. It is not enough to merely visualize or affirm. You must step into the feeling of your wish being fulfilled right here and now. Feeling is the secret. If you can generate the emotion, the certainty, the deep knowing that your desire is already yours, then the world must conform to that assumption. Everything you experience is a reflection of your inner state. When you change within, the world must follow. But if you continue to live as though your desire is separate from you, then it will remain separate. Many struggle with this concept because they rely too much on their senses. They look around and see no evidence of change, and so they doubt. But the outer world is always a delayed reflection of the inner world. What you experience now is simply a manifestation of past thoughts and beliefs. If you desire a different reality, you must persist in your new assumption until it hardens into fact. This is not pretending. It is not about fooling yourself or acting as though something is true when you know it is not. It is about knowing that what you assume and persist in must become real. If you can feel it as real in your mind, then it is real. The world has no choice but to align with your inner conviction. Think of how you would behave if your desire were already fulfilled. How would you walk, talk, and carry yourself? How would you feel when you woke up in the morning? What thoughts would fill your mind? This is the state you must assume now. Do not wait for external proof. Become the version of yourself who already has what you seek, and watch as the world reflects it back to you. The moment you fully accept your desires already accomplished, doubt disappears. There is no need to question when or how it will happen. You rest in the assurance that it is done, and you move through life with ease, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly. This is the power of living in the end. Circumstances do not matter. They are simply echoes of old assumptions. If you persist in your new state, nothing can stop it from materializing. Your imagination is the only reality, and once you claim your desire within, it must externalize in time. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and you will see it manifest in your world. The past is not fixed. It is not a rigid, unchangeable reality that dictates your present and future. It exists only as a collection of memories, mental impressions stored in your consciousness. And because it exists in your mind, you have the power to reshape it. You are not bound by the limitations of what was. At any moment, you can revise your past, and in doing so, alter the course of your life. Most people believe that the past is something they must accept as unchangeable. They think that their failures, their traumas, their disappointments are permanent marks that shape who they are today. But this belief only keeps them trapped in a cycle of limitation. They relive the same struggles, carrying the weight of old wounds because they do not realize that they have the power to rewrite their story. Revision is the act of mentally reconstructing an event to reflect the outcome you wish had occurred. It is not about denying what happened, but about choosing to see it differently. Since your memory of an event is just an impression in your mind, altering that impression changes the way it affects you. And because your inner world shapes your outer reality, this shift in perception begins to transform your present and future experiences. If you replay an old failure in your mind and feel the same disappointment, you are keeping that failure alive in your consciousness. Every time you dwell on the pain, you reinforce it as a part of your identity. But if instead you revise the memory, imagining a different outcome where you succeeded, where you were strong, where things unfolded in your favor, you are planting a new seed in your subconscious. Over time, this new version of events becomes dominant, and your life begins to reflect it. This is not wishful thinking. It is an active, deliberate process of reshaping your assumptions about yourself and your life. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It only accepts what you consistently impress upon it. When you revise a memory and persist in feeling the new version as true, your subconscious reprograms itself accordingly. The emotional charge of the old event fades and a new pattern takes its place. If you were once rejected, revise the memory to one where you were embraced and appreciated. If you suffered loss, imagine that the outcome was different, that what you desired remained yours. If you made a mistake, see yourself acting wisely and confidently instead. Feel the relief, the joy, the triumph, as if it had truly happened that way. The more you do this, the more your reality will shift to align with your revised assumption. Perhaps you wonder, how can changing a memory affect my present life? The answer is simple. Your state of being is determined by what you believe to be true. When you alter your past in consciousness, you shift your belief system. And since your outer world is always a reflection of your inner world, your present and future must rearrange themselves to match your new state. Many people have experienced radical changes simply by revising their past. Relationships have healed, financial struggles have turned into abundance, and personal limitations have dissolved, all because they stopped accepting their past as an unchangeable fact and began to rewrite it according to their desires. This is the power of revision. It frees you from the burden of the past and opens the door to new possibilities. It allows you to reclaim your power and shape your life deliberately. There is nothing outside of you that has authority over your destiny. You are the creator, and your imagination is your tool. At any moment, you can look back on your life and decide to see a different version of events. Choose the one that empowers you. Choose the one that aligns with the life you wish to live. Revise persistently and watch as your world transforms before your eyes. Most people believe that success requires effort, that they must struggle, push, and fight to achieve what they want. This belief is so deeply ingrained that they measure progress by how hard they work and how much they suffer. But this way of thinking is an illusion. Struggle does not create, faith does. It is not effort that brings your desires into reality, but the unwavering belief that what you seek is already yours. When you desire something, your natural inclination may be to chase after it, to take excessive action, to force things into place. But this very effort is what keeps your manifestation at a distance. Why? Because effort implies lack. It is rooted in the belief that you do not yet have what you want, that you must earn it or prove yourself worthy of it. And as long as you hold on to this belief, your reality will continue to reflect that state of lack. Faith, on the other hand, requires no struggle. It is the quiet, confident knowing that what you assume to be true must come to pass. It is the absolute trust that your desire already exists in the unseen and is making its way into physical reality. Faith is effortless, and because it is effortless, it allows manifestations to flow freely into your life without resistance. Consider a gardener who plants a seed. He does not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. He does not stand over it anxiously, wondering if it will sprout. He simply trusts the process. He waters it, gives it sunlight, and waits, knowing that in due time it will bloom. The same principle applies to your desires. The moment you assume your wish fulfilled, the seed is planted. Your job is not to force it to grow, but to rest in the certainty that it will. The reason so many struggle with manifestation is that they oscillate between faith and doubt. They affirm their desires one moment, but the next they question whether it is really possible. They look to the external world for signs, and if they see nothing, they assume that nothing is happening. But manifestation does not work this way. The outer world is always a reflection of your inner state. If you believe you must struggle, your reality will provide endless obstacles. But if you trust that your assumption is already fact, the world will shape itself accordingly. True faith is unwavering. It does not seek reassurance from circumstances. It does not demand proof. It does not wonder when or how things will happen. It simply knows. And when you reach this state of inner certainty, manifestations come effortlessly. You no longer feel the need to force results because you already dwell in the feeling of having received them. Many who struggle with faith believe they must do something extra to make their desires come true. But doing is secondary. Being is primary. It is not about taking endless action, but about embodying the state of already having. When you become the person who has what you desire, when you think, feel, and act as though it is already done, you naturally align with the reality in which it exists. From this state, inspired action arises effortlessly. Faith does not mean inaction. It means aligned action. It means acting from the knowing that your desire is a certainty, not from the fear that it may never happen. When you move with faith, every step feels natural, easy, and joyful. There is no desperation, no forcing, only a calm assurance that all is unfolding perfectly. This is why those who manifest easily are not the ones who strive the hardest, but the ones who believe the deepest. They do not let their senses deceive them. They do not question whether their manifestation is coming. They assume it is done, and because they do, it becomes their reality. The moment you release effort and replace it with faith, everything changes. The struggle ends and the flow begins. Your only task is to assume, believe, and rest in the certainty that it is already yours. Let go of force, release the need to control, and trust that what you have claimed in consciousness must manifest in form. It is already done. The world you see around you is nothing more than a mirror reflecting your inner state. It is not separate from you, nor is it something you must fight against. Your reality is shaped by the assumptions, beliefs, and feelings you hold within. If you do not like what you see in the outer world, the answer is not to struggle with it, but to change the inner world from which it arises. Most people make the mistake of reacting to their current circumstances as if they are permanent and unchangeable. They allow what they see to dictate what they believe is possible. If they experience lack, they assume that abundance is out of reach. If they are lonely, They accept isolation as their fate. If their desires seem far away, they believe that distance is real. But all of this is an illusion. The outer world is nothing more than a projection of what you have impressed upon your subconscious mind. Your reality does not exist independently of you. It is shaped and molded by your inner state. If you continue to focus on what is, you will only create more of the same. But if you shift your focus to what you desire and persist in that assumption regardless of appearances, your world must eventually conform. To ignore the outer world does not mean to pretend it does not exist. It means refusing to let it control your inner state. It means understanding that circumstances are not fixed, that they are merely the reflection of past assumptions, and that they will change the moment you assume something new. If you are in debt and wish to experience financial abundance, you must not dwell on your current lack. You must not let the numbers in your bank account shake your faith. Instead, you must persist in the feeling of already being prosperous. You must see yourself as someone who already possesses wealth, and you must hold on to that assumption, even when the world shows you the opposite. If you are longing for love, you must not focus on loneliness. You must not seek validation from the outer world before believing you are loved. Instead, you must dwell in the state of already being cherished and adored. You must assume that love is yours and persist in that assumption until the world reshapes itself to reflect it. This is the key: persistence in the unseen. The moment you assume your desire is already yours, it is done. But if you allow external circumstances to make you doubt, you push your manifestation away. The world will always reflect what you most consistently believe to be true. The great mistake is to wait for external confirmation before believing. Those who understand the nature of reality do not seek proof in the world around them. They create proof by first believing. They do not let what is dictate what will be. They assume what they desire, and they persist in that assumption until it becomes their experience. Many people give up too soon. They assume their desire for a brief moment, but when they do not see instant results, they return to doubt. They allow the outer world to convince them that their assumption was false. But this is like planting a seed and then digging it up every day to check if it is growing. The process takes time. Reality must rearrange itself. And if you persist, it will. There is no power outside of you. Nothing in the world has the ability to stop your manifestation except your own doubt. The only thing you must do is remain faithful to the unseen. Live in the certainty that what you have assumed is already true. Ignore the contradictions of the physical world, knowing they are temporary shadows of past thoughts. Hold firm to your vision and do not waver. Refuse to be influenced by appearances. Stay centered in the belief that what you have claimed in consciousness is already yours, and in time, the world will have no choice but to reflect it back to you. Your entire experience of life is determined by one thing: your consciousness. It is not luck, fate, or external circumstances that shape your reality. It is the way you see yourself. Who you believe yourself to be is the foundation upon which everything in your world is built. If you desire change, you must start within. Most people attempt to change their lives by focusing on external conditions. They seek new jobs, new relationships, or more money, believing that these things will bring them happiness. But no lasting change can come from rearranging the outer world while remaining the same internally. The world is only a mirror. It does not create, it only reflects. If you see yourself as unworthy, you will continue to experience lack. If you see yourself as powerless, you will always feel at the mercy of circumstances. But the moment you shift your self-concept, your reality must shift with you. Your self-concept is the collection of beliefs you hold about yourself. It determines what you expect, what you accept, and what you experience. If you believe yourself to be confident, opportunities will naturally come to you. If you believe yourself to be successful, success will follow. If you believe yourself to be loved, love will manifest in your life effortlessly. It is not the world that must change first, it is you. Consider the person who constantly struggles with money. No matter how hard they work or how many opportunities come their way, they always find themselves in financial distress. It is not because they lack ability or intelligence, it is because they see themselves as someone who struggles. Their subconscious mind, accepting this self-image as truth, ensures that their reality reflects it. Even if they receive a large sum of money, they will soon find a way to lose it, because their inner concept of self does not match the state of abundance. Imagine that same person decides to change their self-concept. Instead of seeing themselves as someone who struggles, they assume the identity of someone who is financially free. They dwell in the feeling of abundance, making it their natural state. Over time, this shift in self-perception changes the way they think, act, and respond to the world. They begin to attract opportunities effortlessly. They manage money wisely. They make decisions that align with wealth. And as a result, their outer world transforms to match their new inner state. This principle applies to every area of life. If you struggle with relationships, it is not because love is unavailable to you, it is because your self-concept does not align with being loved. If you see yourself as unworthy or undesirable, the world will reflect that back to you. But the moment you assume the identity of someone who is deeply loved and cherished, reality will rearrange itself to confirm that assumption. Many believe that change is difficult, that it takes years of hard work. But transformation is instant the moment you accept a new self-concept. The only reason change appears slow is because people waver between their old identity and their new one. They affirm new beliefs but then fall back into their previous assumptions. The key is persistence. You must consistently dwell in the feeling of your desired self, refusing to accept any reality that contradicts it. The world cannot help but conform to your self-concept. It is a law as certain as gravity. Who you believe yourself to be determines what you experience. Change your concept of self and everything around you will shift accordingly. You do not need to force things to happen. You do not need to struggle. Simply assume the state of the person you wish to be, persist in that assumption, and allow reality to reflect it back to you. Your consciousness is the key. Use it wisely. Your reality is not shaped by chance, nor is it dictated by forces outside of you. Everything you experience is a direct reflection of your inner world, your assumptions, your beliefs, and your state of being. The key to manifesting your dream life lies in understanding and applying these principles with unwavering faith. Imagination creates reality, so dwell in the vision of what you desire as if it were already true. Live in the end assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, rather than waiting for the world to show you proof. The past holds no power over you unless you choose to keep it alive. Revise your memories and your present and future will shift accordingly. Let go of struggle, for faith is stronger than effort. Trust that what you have assumed is already unfolding. Ignore the outer world when it contradicts your vision, and persist in the unseen. And above all, recognize that your consciousness is the key. Who you believe yourself to be determines what you will experience. There is nothing to chase, nothing to force, nothing to fear. Align with the reality you desire, and it must unfold effortlessly. You are always creating, so create deliberately, create with confidence, and create with the certainty that your dream life is already yours. Thank you. My friends, you are not separate from the power that governs the universe. You are the very essence of creation, and the moment you ask, the answer is already forming. But let me tell you, asking is not mere words spoken into the air. It is an inner conviction, a shift in your state of being. When you desire something, it is not a mere wish. It is a whisper from the universe itself, calling you to claim what is already yours. The moment you recognize this, you will stop begging and start expecting. You must see yourself already in possession of what you seek. Not tomorrow, not in the distant future, but now. Close your eyes and instead of longing for it, become the person who already has it. How do you feel? How do you act? How do you think? The moment you align with this reality, the universe must conform. But here is where many falter. They ask with hope rather than certainty. Hope suggests possibility, but certainty commands reality. If you plant a seed and then dig it up every day to check if it's growing, you ruin the process. You must ask, then rest in the knowing that it is done. The world you experience is a mirror of your inner state. You cannot look at the world and react to it. You must create from within. What you assume to be true in consciousness will harden into fact. If you wish for abundance, do not ask for it as if you lack it. Feel abundant now. If you desire love, do not chase it. Embody love and it will come effortlessly. The secret is simple. You must live in the end. The universe is always listening, always responding, but it does not respond to desperation, it responds to faith. Act as if you already have it, walk as if it is already yours, and soon the world will reflect your inner knowing. Your inner world is the blueprint of your external reality. Every thought you hold, every belief you entertain, and every assumption you accept as true is shaping the life you live. The universe does not give you what you merely wish for. It gives you what you assume to be true. Your assumptions are the silent architects of your destiny, constantly at work, molding the world around you into a reflection of your inner convictions. Consider for a moment the things you believe about yourself and your life. Are they empowering, filled with certainty and abundance, or are they colored with doubt and limitation? The truth is, you cannot experience anything in your outer world that you have not first accepted within. If you assume that success is difficult, that wealth is reserved for a select few, or that love is elusive, then your world will confirm these beliefs, not because they are absolute truths, but because you have claimed them as such. The mind is the soil in which seeds of assumption are planted. Whatever you consistently assume to be true takes root, grows, and eventually manifests as experience. If you assume that you are always overlooked, that assumption will shape your interactions, your energy, and even the way people perceive you. You will unknowingly act in ways that reinforce this belief, and the world will respond accordingly. Conversely, if you assume that you are valued, respected, and magnetic, your reality will begin to shift to match that state. Many believe they must first see proof in order to believe something is possible, but this is the opposite of how creation works. The outer world is not the cause, it is the effect. Your assumptions precede the evidence, not the other way around. You do not wait for circumstances to confirm your beliefs, you impose your beliefs onto reality. This is why two people can experience the same situation yet perceive it entirely differently. One assumes life is working for them, and so it does. The other assumes they are constantly facing obstacles, and so they do. The power of assumption is most evident in those who succeed effortlessly. They do not force success. They simply assume it is inevitable. They carry themselves with the quiet confidence of someone who already knows the outcome. There is no hesitation, no second guessing, just an unwavering certainty that life must conform to their expectations. And it does. So how do you begin to shift your assumptions? First, become aware of what you are unconsciously assuming to be true about yourself, your relationships, your finances, and your health. Are your assumptions empowering or limiting? Are they based on fear or faith? Once you identify the beliefs that no longer serve you, replace them with new assumptions that align with the reality you desire. This is not a mere mental exercise, it requires deep inner conviction. You must saturate your mind with the feeling of already being the person you wish to become. If you want to be prosperous, assume the state of prosperity now. Feel the relief, the security, the ease that comes with it. If you desire love, assume you are already loved and cherished. Carry yourself as if it is already done, and soon your world will shift to match your inner state. Doubt is the only thing that can delay the process. The moment you assume something new, your old reality may try to convince you otherwise. Circumstances may appear unchanged, but this is merely an illusion. If you hold firm to your new assumption, the world must eventually conform. But if you waver, questioning whether it is working, you disrupt the process. Faith is knowing that your assumption, once made, is as good as fact. You do not need to struggle or chase after results. You simply assume, trust, and persist. The universe is a faithful servant to your assumptions, reflecting back to you exactly what you accept as true. Change your assumptions, and you change your world. Your desires are not meaningless wishes or fleeting thoughts. They are divine whispers, guiding you toward what is already yours in the unseen. Every longing you feel, every vision that stirs something deep within you is not an accident. It is a glimpse of a reality that already exists for you. The moment a desire arises, it is proof that what you seek is seeking you. The universe does not tease, it does not place dreams in your heart without the means for their fulfillment. Most people misunderstand desire. They see it as something distant, something they must struggle for or prove themselves worthy of before they can attain it. But the truth is, your desires are not outside of you, they are part of you. They are not asking you to chase them, they are asking you to claim them. The moment you recognize this, you stop feeling separate from what you want. Instead of longing, you move into knowing. Instead of striving, you shift into receiving. The universe operates on a simple law. What you accept as real must become real. When a desire arises, it is not just an empty hope. It is an invitation. It is the universe saying, here is what is possible for you. Will you accept it? The problem is, most people reject this invitation. They let doubt, fear, or feelings of unworthiness block the path. They convince themselves that what they want is too difficult, too far away, or meant for someone else. And in doing so, they turn away from the very thing that was meant for them. But when you embrace your desires, when you see them as divine guidance rather than impossible dreams, everything changes. The moment you say yes to your desire, not with mere words, but with the deep inner knowing that it is already yours, the universe begins to move. Circumstances shift, opportunities arise, and what once seemed impossible starts to unfold effortlessly. It is not your job to figure out how it will happen. The how is never your concern. The same power that gave you the desire will orchestrate the means for its fulfillment. Your only responsibility is to accept it as done, to hold the vision, to assume the feeling of already having it, to align yourself with the reality in which your desire is a fact. Many people ask and then immediately undo their own requests. They let impatience creep in. They look at their current reality and declare that nothing is changing. But this is where faith is required. The universe works in ways unseen before it manifests in the physical. Just because you do not see the movement does not mean it is not happening. Just because the evidence has not yet appeared does not mean the process is not underway. Think of it like planting a seed. The moment you place the seed in the soil, the process of growth has begun. But if you dig it up every day to check if it is growing, you interfere with the natural order. Desire works the same way. Once you ask, trust that it is already growing beneath the surface. Do not disrupt the process with doubt or desperation. Nurture your desire with belief. Speak as if it is already yours. Walk as if it has already been given. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the certainty that comes with knowing you have received. This is the key to unlocking your desires effortlessly. The universe does not respond to pleading, it responds to conviction. It mirrors back to you the state you dwell in. If you dwell in lack, you experience lack. If you dwell in abundance, you experience abundance. So when you ask, do not ask from a place of need. Ask from a place of knowing. Ask as if it is already done. Your desires are divine. They are not random. They are not unreachable. They are waiting for you to step into the version of yourself that is already living them. When you do, the universe will move heaven and earth to bring them into form. When you ask, the universe does not listen to your words alone. It listens to the energy behind them. It responds to your state of being, to the feeling you hold as you make your request. The great secret is that creation is not about hoping, wishing, or begging. It is about assuming. It is about stepping into the feeling of already having what you desire, embodying it so completely that it becomes undeniable. Most people ask from a place of lack. They focus on what is missing, on what they do not have, and their request is laced with doubt and longing. But longing only affirms separation. When you desire something and feel as though you do not have it, you are reinforcing its absence. The more you focus on what is missing, the more the universe mirrors that state back to you. But when you assume the feeling of already having what you seek, everything changes. You no longer ask as someone who is lacking, you ask as someone who already possesses. You do not pray from desperation, you give thanks in certainty. You do not wait for external proof, you embody the proof within. And because the universe reflects your inner world, it must bring forth the reality that matches your state. When you truly believe something is yours, how do you feel? There is no anxiety, no restlessness, no questioning. There is only peace. There is only the quiet confidence of knowing. This is the state you must dwell in. If you desire love, do not ask for it with a heart that feels lonely. Assume the warmth, the security, the deep fulfillment of already being loved. If you desire wealth, do not plead for it while feeling poor. Step into the feeling of abundance, of ease, of having more than enough. This is not about pretending. It is not about forcing yourself to believe something while secretly feeling the opposite. It is about shifting your state so completely that the new reality becomes natural to you. You do not need to see it first, you need to feel it first. When you do, the external world will rearrange itself to match your inner assumption. Doubt is the only thing that can disrupt this process. Many people try to assume the feeling of fulfillment, but then they check their current reality and see nothing has changed. They let impatience creep in. They question whether it is working. But faith is knowing that once you assume the state, it is already done. The outer world is simply catching up. Imagine placing an order at a restaurant. You do not worry about whether the food will arrive. You place the order and you wait with expectation. You trust that what you have asked for is being prepared even before you see it. This is the same way you must ask the universe. Once you assume the state, you must carry yourself as though your desire is already being delivered. Gratitude is a powerful tool in this process. When you give thanks not for what you hope will come, but for what you know is already yours, you shift your energy instantly. Gratitude affirms possession. It declares that what you have asked for is already received. It removes doubt and replaces it with certainty. So when you ask, do not ask as someone who is waiting. Ask as someone who already has. Feel the reality of your desire fulfilled. Rest in the assurance that the universe has already responded. The moment you shift your inner world, the outer world must follow. This is law. Doubt is the only thing that stands between you and the life you desire. It is the force that disrupts your manifestations, delays your blessings, and keeps you in a cycle of uncertainty. The moment you entertain doubt, you begin to unravel the very thing you have set in motion. You question whether your desire is possible, whether the universe has heard you, and whether you are worthy of receiving it. And in doing so, you weaken your faith, casting shadows over what was meant to be a certainty. But the truth is, the moment you ask, it is already granted. There is no question, no hesitation, no negotiation. What you desire is already set into motion. Your only task is to align with it, to trust the process without second-guessing it. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You trust that beneath the soil, Unseen forces are at work. You water it, you nurture it, but you do not interfere with the process. You know that in time it must break through the surface. This is how manifestation works. The moment you declare something as yours, the unseen begins to shift. Circumstances rearrange, opportunities align, and paths unfold in ways you cannot yet see. But if you allow doubt to enter, you disrupt this process. You uproot the seed before it has time to grow. You delay what was already in motion. Many people do this unknowingly. They ask for something, then immediately check their surroundings for proof. They look at their current reality and declare that nothing has changed. They let fear creep in. They question whether it is really working. But faith does not seek evidence, it creates it. Faith does not wait for proof, it is the proof. You must hold your belief unwaveringly. You must trust so completely that there is no room for hesitation. You must move through life as though your desire is already fulfilled, as though you are merely waiting for reality to catch up. This is the secret that separates those who manifest with ease from those who struggle. The ones who receive are the ones who trust, without needing reassurance, without needing to control the how or when. There is great power in silence. The moment doubt tries to creep in, silence it. Do not speak words of uncertainty. Do not entertain thoughts of failure. Do not allow external circumstances to dictate your inner state. Speak only of what you desire as if it is already done. Think only in terms of fulfillment. Feel only the certainty of already having received. The universe does not respond to weak intentions. It does not respond to half-hearted belief. It mirrors back to you the strength of your conviction. If you believe fully, without question, the universe has no choice but to align with that belief. But if you waver, if you doubt, if you allow fear to take hold, you send mixed signals. And mixed signals create delays. This is why so many people feel stuck. They are caught between belief and doubt, between trust and fear. They take one step forward in faith, then 2 steps back in uncertainty. But when you decide, truly decide, that what you desire is already yours, everything shifts. So, silence the doubt, trust the process, walk in faith, not by sight. Know that just because you do not see the movement yet does not mean it is not happening. It is happening. It is unfolding. Your only task is to hold the belief unwaveringly. Live as if your request is already granted, because in truth, it is. The greatest secret to manifestation lies in living in the end. To see yourself already in possession of what you desire. To think from the state of fulfillment rather than longing for it is the key to bringing your dreams into reality. Most people ask for what they want while still identifying with the version of themselves who does not have it. They pray for wealth while feeling poor. They seek love while believing they are unworthy. They hope for success while fearing failure. But as long as you continue to see yourself as separate from your desire, you will remain in that separation. To live in the end means to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It means to act, think, and feel as though your desire has already materialized. It is not about forcing external actions, but rather shifting your inner state so completely that the external world has no choice but to conform. The universe does not respond to wishful thinking, it responds to certainty. When you embody the version of yourself who already has what you desire, the world rearranges itself to match that reality. Imagine you have already received what you want. How would you think? How would you feel? How would you carry yourself? If you were already successful, would you still worry about failure? If you were already in love, would you still feel lonely? If you were already wealthy, would you still stress about money? The answer is no. Your energy would be different, your actions would be different, and this is the shift that must take place within you. Many believe they must wait for external proof before they can feel certain, but this is a mistake. The outer world is merely a reflection of the inner world. If you wait for proof before believing, you will remain in a state of waiting indefinitely. But if you choose to believe first, if you step into the feeling of already having, you activate the forces that bring your desire into form. Living in the end is not about pretending. It is not about acting as though something is true while secretly believing it is not. It is about fully immersing yourself in the reality of your desire. It is about making that state your dwelling place, so natural to you that it no longer feels like something you are trying to manifest. It feels like something that already is. Doubt has no place in this process. The moment you waver, the moment you question whether it is working, you step out of alignment with your desire. Faith is not about hoping, it is about knowing. It is about trusting so deeply that you no longer concern yourself with when or how your desire will come to you. You rest in the certainty that it is already done, that the unseen forces are moving on your behalf. If you desire a new reality, you must become the person who already lives it. Your self-concept must shift. Instead of seeing yourself as someone who is waiting, see yourself as someone who has arrived. Instead of chasing your desire, become the version of you who already possesses it. The shift is internal, and once it is made, the external world must comply. This is the law. This is how reality bends to your assumption. The moment you live in the end, the moment you claim it as your truth, it must come to pass. The world is only reflecting you. So decide who you are. Decide what is already yours. And then, without hesitation, live in that knowing. The universe has no choice but to respond accordingly. Gratitude is not merely a polite response to receiving. It is a powerful force that accelerates manifestation. Most people wait until their desires materialize before they express gratitude, but this is a mistake. True gratitude is not a reaction. It is a state of being. It is the act of feeling thankful before the physical evidence appears, of embodying the energy of already having. When you feel gratitude as if you have already received, you confirm to the universe that your manifestation is real, and by doing so, you draw it closer with incredible speed. Gratitude is the language of completion. It signals that you recognize your desire is already yours, even if the world has not yet reflected it back to you. When you give thanks in advance, you solidify your belief, making it unwavering. You eliminate doubt because you would not be grateful for something you did not truly believe was coming. In this way, gratitude is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. It is the glue that holds your manifestation together, ensuring that it moves swiftly from imagination to reality. Think about the energy of someone who is thankful. They are calm, confident, and at peace. They are not anxiously waiting, nor are they pleading or begging for their desires to arrive. Instead, they live in a state of certainty. This certainty aligns them with their desire, magnetizing it toward them. The universe mirrors this certainty, responding with experiences that match the energy they are radiating. Contrast this with someone who is impatient, doubtful, or fearful. They may say they believe their manifestation is coming, but if they feel anxious or desperate, they are unknowingly affirming its absence. Their energy says, "I do not have it yet." And so the universe continues to reflect that state of not having. This is why gratitude must be felt before the physical manifestation appears. It is a declaration of faith, a knowing that what you seek is already yours. To practice this, begin by imagining how you would feel if your desire had already come to pass. Picture yourself living in the reality you have created. What emotions rise within you? Relief, joy, excitement? Tap into those emotions and express deep, heartfelt gratitude for them now. Say, "Thank you for this abundance. Thank you for this love. Thank you for this success." Speak as if it is already done, as if you are merely acknowledging what has already been given. This practice shifts your entire state of being. Instead of waiting for something to happen, you move into alignment with the version of you who has already received. The more you embody this feeling, the faster your manifestation unfolds. It is not the words of gratitude that create the shift, but the feeling behind them. Words spoken without emotion are empty. Gratitude must be felt deeply. Many do not realize that gratitude also dissolves resistance. When you are truly thankful, there is no space for fear, doubt, or frustration. Gratitude keeps you in the present moment, free from the anxiety of wondering when or how your desire will come. It allows you to relax, to trust the process, and to let go of any attachment to the outcome. This state of trust is essential, for desperation repels while certainty attracts. Everything in life responds to gratitude. The more you appreciate, the more you receive to appreciate. When you live in a state of thankfulness, you naturally attract more things to be thankful for. This is the simple yet profound truth of the universe. Like attracts like. Gratitude is not just an act. It is a vibration, a signal that tells the universe you are already fulfilled. So do not wait until your desire appears to express gratitude. Feel it now. Let it flood your heart. Let it fill your mind. Let it be your constant state. Because when you live in gratitude, you live in the end. And when you live in the end, manifestation is inevitable. Everything you desire is already within reach. The universe is not withholding anything from you. It is simply responding to the state you embody. When you assume your wish is already fulfilled, when you trust without doubt, when you live in the end with unwavering certainty, you align yourself with the reality you seek. Your assumption is the key, your desire is divine, and your belief seals the manifestation. The universe mirrors your inner world, and the moment you shift internally, the external world must follow. Feel gratitude now, not as a reaction, but as a way of being. Speak and think from a place of fulfillment, not lack. Release all hesitation and trust the process fully. What you seek is already seeking you. The only thing required is your alignment with it. Stop waiting, stop doubting, and step into the reality of your creation. Thank you for allowing these words to remind you of your power. Trust in yourself, trust in the unseen forces working on your behalf, and watch as your desires unfold effortlessly. Everything is already yours. All you must do is claim it. There was a time when my bank account showed nothing but numbers too small to matter. I had desires, dreams, and ambitions, but the world around me seemed to say, not yet. I tried everything, work, struggle, effort. But all I found was resistance. Until one day I realized the truth. The world is only reflecting me. If I see lack, it is because I have spoken lack into existence. If I see delay, it is because I have assumed delay as my truth. I put aside doubt, fear, and effort. Instead, I whispered 3 words, 3 simple words that shattered the illusion of limitation. I spoke them morning and night, not as a plea, but as a declaration. I spoke them as if my wealth was already here, already mine. I felt the words vibrate in my chest, radiating outwards, bending reality to match the conviction within me. Nothing outside of me mattered anymore. Days passed, then weeks. I did not check my bank account, nor did I question when or how. My only job was to remain in the knowing. Then, out of nowhere, it happened. The first opportunity came effortless, unexpected. A deal, a connection, a flow of money I could not have predicted. And then another, until one day, my reality reflected exactly what I had spoken. I said them as if the wealth was already in my hands, as if I was already the person who owned it. And because I believed, the world had no choice but to comply. This is your power. If you can assume, believe, and declare it done, without wavering, without questioning, the universe must obey. So today, forget struggle, forget effort, stand in your power and say, it is done. Feel it, believe it, and then watch as the world reshapes itself to match the truth you have spoken. Every word you speak is a decree, a command shaping the unseen forces that mold your reality. You may not realize it, but the words you utter, whether in passing or with deep conviction, set the course for what appears in your life. Words are not just sounds that dissipate into the air. They are vibrations that move through the fabric of existence, calling forth circumstances, opportunities, and experiences in perfect alignment with what has been declared. Most people speak carelessly, unaware that their words are painting the canvas of their lives. They say, "I'm always broke," and reality obediently reflects their statement. They say, "Nothing ever works out for me," and the world rearranges itself to confirm that belief. But there's no magic in lack. There is only the power of assumption turned in the wrong direction. What if instead of affirming struggle, you began to declare abundance? What if you chose your words with precision, as a master craftsman chooses his tools? To understand the true power of spoken words, you must grasp that they are not just expressions of your current state, but seeds of your future. The words you speak today will become the reality you live tomorrow. It is an immutable law. You have seen this principle in action, even if you were unaware of it. Think back to a time when you spoke of an outcome with certainty, whether good or bad, and it came to pass exactly as you had declared. That was not coincidence, that was manifestation. The subconscious mind is always listening, absorbing every word you say, taking it as an instruction. It does not distinguish between what you want and what you fear. It simply hears and obeys. When you say, "I can't afford this," your mind registers lack and ensures you remain in that state. When you say, "I am always in the right place at the right time," life begins to align in ways that confirm your words. Consider the example of those who have risen from nothing to great wealth. More often than not, they spoke their success into existence long before they saw any evidence of it. They declared their wealth when the world still called them poor. They insisted on their prosperity when reality suggested otherwise. But their words carried weight because they were spoken with belief. The key is not simply to say words, but to say them with conviction. Words that are empty of belief carry no creative power, but words spoken with faith become living things. They take shape in the unseen, drawing to you people, opportunities, and circumstances that match the reality you have declared. If you truly understood this, you would never again speak against yourself. You would never again say, "I am unlucky," or "I don't deserve success." You would refuse to use words that diminish you, limit you, or hold you back. Instead, you would speak only of what you desire, as if it were already yours. You would say, "I am prosperous," even when there is no physical evidence. You would say, "Everything is working out for me," even when things seem uncertain. The external world is nothing but a mirror reflecting your inner state. It cannot show you what you have not first declared. Change your words and you will change your life. The universe is listening, always waiting for your command. Speak wisely, for every word is a prophecy. The world around you is not fixed. It is a direct reflection of the assumptions you hold within. Everything you experience, every circumstance you encounter, is the outpicturing of your inner state. If you want to change your reality, you must first change what you assume to be true. This is the great secret. What you assume with feeling and persistence becomes your experience. You are not waiting for your desire to materialize. You are stepping into the version of yourself where it already exists. Most people live their lives believing they must work towards their desires, striving, hoping, and wishing. But this is backward thinking. The moment you place something outside of yourself as something to be attained, you create a gap between you and it. And as long as you perceive that gap, it remains unfulfilled. The key is to assume that what you desire is already yours. Not in the future, not someday, but now. You must take on the feeling, the inner knowing that your wish is already accomplished. Think of someone who is wealthy. They do not wake up wondering if they will have enough. They do not question whether or not they can afford something. They live with the quiet confidence of abundance. It is not an effortful state. It is natural to them. If you desire wealth, you must assume the state of the wealthy person now. You must walk, talk, and think from that reality, not towards it, from it. Bhavani thinks it. This is not pretending or daydreaming. This is embodiment. There is a distinct difference between hoping for something and knowing it is already yours. Hoping keeps it at a distance. Knowing draws it into your world. The law of assumption states that when you fully accept a reality within yourself, the outer world has no choice but to reflect it. It is an unbreakable law. Many have used this truth to transform their lives. A man who was struggling with financial hardship did not focus on his lack, nor did he wait for some external force to change his conditions. He assumed wealth. He did not merely say the words, he felt it. He moved through his day with the confidence of a man who already had everything he needed. He made decisions as though money was not an issue. He spoke, acted, and thought from a place of financial security. And soon opportunities arose, ideas flowed, and wealth found its way to him. The world conformed to his new inner state. The same principle applies to health, relationships, success, everything. If you desire love, you must assume you are already loved. Not that love will come, but that it is already present in your life. You must feel the warmth, the joy, the fulfillment of being in that perfect relationship. The one who constantly wonders when love will arrive is assuming its absence, and so it remains absent. But the one who knows they are deeply loved will see it manifest effortlessly. Your only job is to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is not hard work, it is simply a shift in awareness. Close your eyes and see yourself living the life you desire. How do you feel? What do you hear? How do you move through the world? Take that feeling and carry it with you. Let it become your dominant state. Do not waver. Do not look to the outside world for validation. Assume it is done, and it must be. Reality is not happening to you, it is responding to you. The moment you shift your assumption, the world shifts to match it. Do not wait for proof. Assume it now, feel it deeply, and it will materialize with absolute certainty. Your mind is like a fertile field, and the words you repeat are the seeds that take root and grow into the reality you experience. The subconscious mind does not question, it does not argue, it simply accepts what it is given. It is the silent architect of your life, constructing your experiences based on the thoughts, beliefs, and affirmations you feed it. The more you repeat something, the more your subconscious mind accepts it as truth, and once it accepts something as truth, it must externalize it into your world. Most people unknowingly use this principle against themselves. They repeatedly affirm things they do not want, reinforcing limitations and struggles without realizing they are the ones keeping these conditions alive. They say, I can never catch a break, money is hard to come by, or I always attract the wrong people. These words, spoken over and over, imprint upon the subconscious mind, which then ensures that reality mirrors these assumptions. It is not a matter of luck or fate, it is simply the law of repetition in action. But what if you use this power consciously? What if, instead of reinforcing lack and limitation, you began to affirm abundance, success, and happiness? The same law that keeps people stuck can also set them free. The subconscious mind does not care whether you are affirming wealth or poverty, love or loneliness. It will accept whatever you tell it, provided you repeat it enough times. Repetition is the key. When you first begin affirming a new belief, it may feel unnatural. You may not yet believe it, and your current reality may contradict what you are saying, but this does not matter. The subconscious mind does not work with logic, it works with persistence. If you continue repeating a statement, eventually it will bypass the conscious mind's resistance and become embedded as a deep-rooted belief. And once something is a belief, it becomes effortless. Consider someone who has achieved great success. They did not get there by accident. Consciously or unconsciously, they affirmed their success long before it was visible. They spoke words of confidence, certainty, and achievement. They persisted in these declarations until their mind accepted them as fact. And once their mind accepted them, reality had no choice but to align. The secret is consistency. You cannot affirm something once and expect immediate results. Just as you do not go to the gym once and expect a transformed body, you must train your mind with repetition. Every time you say, I am wealthy, I am loved, or everything works out for me, you are reinforcing a new mental blueprint, and just like water carving stone, repetition will reshape your subconscious patterns over time. The best way to use this power is to make affirmations a part of your daily life. Say them when you wake up, throughout the day, and before you go to sleep. Write them down, speak them aloud, think them in your mind. The more you immerse yourself in these new thoughts, the faster they take hold. Even if doubt arises, continue. Even if your current circumstances seem unchanged, persist. Your mind is always listening, and with enough repetition, it will believe what you tell it. Many people have transformed their lives with this simple practice. They have gone from lack to abundance, from loneliness to love, from struggle to ease, all by repeatedly affirming a new reality until it became second nature. And once something is second nature, it manifests effortlessly. You do not need to force change. You only need to persist in speaking what you desire until your subconscious mind accepts it. Once it does, it will work tirelessly to make it real. This is the power of repetition. What you say consistently, you become. Speak wisely, for your words are the seeds of your future. Words alone do not create reality. Feeling does. You may repeat affirmations 1,000 times, but if they are empty words without feeling, they remain lifeless. It is the emotion behind your words that gives them power. Your subconscious mind is moved not by mere repetition, but by the intensity of belief and feeling attached to what you say. Think of a moment when you felt deep love, overwhelming joy, or immense gratitude. Those emotions were so real that they shaped your entire perception of the world in that instant. Now imagine applying that same intensity of feeling to the things you desire. If you can feel the reality of your wish fulfilled before it physically appears, you set the wheels of manifestation in motion. The universe does not respond to your words alone, it responds to the energy behind them. Most people live in a cycle of desire and doubt. They want something, but as they affirm it, they feel lack instead of fulfillment. They say, I am wealthy, but their inner feeling is one of scarcity. They say, I am loved, but deep down they feel alone. This is why many struggle to manifest their desires. They are speaking one thing, but feeling another. And it is the feeling that manifests. The law is not that you get what you say, it is that you get what you feel to be true. Feeling is the secret ingredient that transforms a mere thought into an unquestionable reality. If you want to manifest wealth, you must not only affirm it, you must feel wealthy now. Walk as though you already have all that you need. Feel the relief, the security, the excitement of abundance flowing through your life. If you desire love, you must feel the warmth, connection, and joy of being in a loving relationship now. The world cannot bring you something you are not already feeling within. This is why visualization is so powerful. When you close your eyes and see yourself living your desired reality, do not just see it, feel it. Engage all your senses. If you are manifesting success, imagine the feeling of shaking hands with someone congratulating you. Hear their words of praise. Feel the satisfaction in your heart. If you are manifesting a new home, feel the texture of the walls. Hear the sound of your footsteps echoing in the rooms. Breathe in the fresh scent of the space. The more real it feels to you, the faster it must come to pass. Doubt is what delays manifestation. When you affirm something but feel the opposite, you are sending mixed signals. The key is to persist in the feeling of your wish fulfilled until it becomes natural. In the beginning, it may feel like you are pretending, but as you continue, your subconscious mind begins to accept it. Once your assumption feels natural, your world shifts to match it. Have you ever noticed how a person deeply in love glows with happiness? Or how someone who truly believes in their success moves with confidence before they even achieve it? This is the power of emotion in action. They are not waiting for external proof. They feel it first, and reality follows. You do not need to see evidence to believe. Believe first, and the evidence will come. This is the essence of manifestation. It is not about waiting for circumstances to change before you feel joy, wealth, or love. It is about generating those emotions now so that your reality has no choice but to conform. Whatever you desire, feel it now. Immerse yourself in the joy of having it. Let that feeling become familiar. Speak your desires with deep conviction, not as something you hope for, but as something you already possess. Once you make the shift from wishing to knowing, from hoping to feeling, your manifestation becomes inevitable. Reality must match the state of mind you dwell in. Choose to dwell in the state of already having what you seek, and soon the world will reflect it back to you. The world you see around you is not fixed. It is merely a reflection of the beliefs you have previously held. Everything in your external reality, from the circumstances you face to the people you encounter, is a projection of the assumptions you have accepted as true. But here is the key. What you see now is only the result of past thoughts. It is not a permanent condition, nor is it a limitation. If you wish to change your life, you must learn to ignore what is currently in front of you and place your focus entirely on the reality you desire to create. Most people live reactively. They look at their circumstances and allow them to dictate their thoughts and emotions. If they see lack, they feel poor. If they see rejection, they feel unworthy. If they see failure, they assume they are incapable. But this is the trap, believing that the world is happening to them rather than realizing that they are the ones shaping it. They remain stuck in a cycle, reinforcing what already exists by continuously acknowledging and reacting to it. To manifest a new reality, you must break this cycle. You must stop giving so much attention to what is and instead focus on what you want to be. This is not about denial, it is about shifting your awareness. If you desire wealth but your bank account shows otherwise, do not dwell on the number you see, do not speak of it, do not stress over it, and do not allow it to define your state of mind. Instead, assume the feeling of already being financially abundant. Walk as if you are already living in that reality, and let your emotions align with it. When you understand that the physical world is nothing more than a mirror of past beliefs, you gain the power to transcend it. Just as a mirror cannot change on its own, your external world will not shift until your internal assumptions do. If you stand in front of a mirror frowning, you cannot wait for the reflection to smile first. You must smile, and then the reflection will change. The same is true with your life. You must first become the person who has what you desire in mind and feeling, before the outer world reflects it back to you. This requires discipline. It requires you to refuse to be fooled by appearances and instead place your faith in the unseen. The moment you declare something as yours, the process of its manifestation begins. But if you allow doubt to creep in, if you look around and say, "I don't see it yet, so it must not be working," you undo your progress. The seed is planted the moment you assume your desire is real. You do not dig up a seed every day to check if it is growing. You trust the process. You water it, nurture it, and know that it will emerge in time. Faith is the bridge between your current reality and the reality you desire. It is the ability to believe in what you do not yet see and persist in that belief until it becomes visible. Those who master this principle understand that reality is fluid, not fixed. They do not allow temporary circumstances to shake their conviction. They know that if they hold fast to their assumption, the world must conform to it. Ignore the current reality if it does not align with what you want. See it for what it is, a passing reflection of old thoughts, not a life sentence. Dare to believe in the unseen, to persist in your new assumption, even when there is no physical proof. And if you do this consistently, the world will have no choice but to shift in response. Your faith in your new reality makes it real. Hold on to that, and soon what once was unseen will become the only reality you know. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between desire and reality. It is the unwavering conviction that what you seek already exists, even when there is no physical evidence of it. Faith is not passive hope. It is not wishing for something to happen while fearing that it may not. True faith is knowing so deeply that doubt cannot take root. It is standing firm in the assumption that what you have declared as yours is already done. The greatest obstacle to manifestation is doubt. The moment you entertain doubt, you weaken your creative power. You may affirm your desires, visualize them, and speak them into existence, but if, in the back of your mind, you question whether it will happen, you slow the process. Doubt is like uprooting a seed after planting it, constantly checking if it is growing. Faith, on the other hand, is the gardener who plants the seed, waters it, and knows it will bloom in time. The key to manifestation is to see with the inner eye, not the outer eye. The outer eye sees the current reality, the circumstances, the limitations. But the inner eye sees what is becoming. It sees beyond the present moment into the realm of possibilities. And here lies the greatest secret. Whatever you see inwardly with certainty must be made real outwardly. Many people make the mistake of letting their senses dictate what they believe. They look at their bank account, their relationships, their environment, and allow what they see to determine what is possible for them. But faith works the other way around. Faith declares, "It is already mine," and persists in that belief even when the outer world suggests otherwise. The universe does not give you what you wish for, it gives you what you believe with certainty. Faith is more than just positive thinking. It is a deep inner conviction so strong that it cannot be shaken. It is the absolute refusal to entertain any reality other than the one you have chosen. A person with faith moves differently. They do not beg, chase, or force things to happen. They do not react in fear when circumstances seem unfavorable. Instead, they stand firm in their assumption, knowing that the unseen reality is more real than what their eyes currently perceive. This is why those who manifest effortlessly are not the ones who try harder. They are the ones who believe without wavering. They do not need reassurance from the outside world because they have already settled the matter internally. Their conviction is unshakable. When they say, "I am wealthy," they feel wealthy before the money arrives. When they say, "I am loved," they feel love before the relationship appears. They live from the end, acting as though their desire is already theirs, and because of this, reality bends to match their assumption. The moment you accept something is true in your inner world, the outer world begins to rearrange itself to reflect that truth. This is the law. But most people sabotage themselves by allowing fear and doubt to creep in. They affirm their desires in the morning, but worry about them in the evening. They say they believe, but deep down they wonder when it will happen, how it will happen, or if they are doing something wrong. And in doing so, they delay their own manifestation. Faith is the absence of doubt. It is not concerned with how or when. It does not seek reassurance from external conditions. It simply knows. And this knowing is what speeds up manifestation. When you truly believe something is already yours, you stop searching for proof. You stop second-guessing. You stop living in a state of waiting. You become the person who has already received it. And once you fully step into that state, the physical world must conform. This is the power of faith. It does not beg, it commands. It does not hope, it knows. It does not waver, it stands firm. When you cultivate this level of conviction, nothing is impossible. The unseen becomes seen, and what once seemed distant arrives effortlessly. Hold on to your faith with unshakable certainty, and reality will bow to your belief. Everything you desire is already yours the moment you claim it in consciousness. The words you speak, the beliefs you hold, and the emotions you embody shape the reality you experience. The physical world is not set in stone. It is merely a reflection of past assumptions. When you understand this, you stop reacting to circumstances and start creating them. The secret to manifestation lies in unwavering faith, the ability to see the unseen and persist in your assumption despite appearances. Repetition reprograms the mind, emotion fuels the manifestation, and assumption brings it into reality. Doubt slows the process, but certainty accelerates it. The moment you stop looking for proof and start living as if it is already done, the universe aligns to bring your vision to life. Ignore the present if it does not match your desire. Hold steadfast to your chosen reality. Speak it, feel it, and walk as though it is already yours. The world will have no choice but to reflect your conviction. Thank you for listening, and remember, what you assume to be true becomes your truth.